Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time watching, then welcome. I literally just received a couple of hours ago my new Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson Conspiracy Palette, which I'm so excited about. We of course have the beautiful packaging. I just love the shape of the, I don't know what you call this, the lid of the palette. It's just super interesting. I've never seen anything like it. It is quite similar to the Blue Blood palette packaging, but it's still quite different. Now, I have to be honest, I have never watched any of Shane Dawson's videos before. I'm not a fan, I don't dislike him, I just haven't watched his stuff. So I actually bought this palette just because I love the Jeffree Star formula. I've only got one other palette from him, so I really wanted to increase the size of my collection, I guess. All of these shades are quite different to the ones that I already have by Jeffree Star. The only one that I think looks kind of similar is, well, actually, to be honest, there is a few. You can see the pink shade in the middle with the triangle on it called Trisha. That looks quite similar to Cotton Candy in the Jawbreaker palette. And then we've got the red shade here, which is also quite similar to one we have in that same Jawbreaker palette. So, I mean, it's not too bad. The rest of the shades are quite different. So what I'm going to do is first start off doing some swatches, which I've never done on my channel before, but I just want to test them all out on my arm and see what they look like, pretty much. So I will be taking my Urban Decay eye priming potion and just applying this to my arm where I'm going to do the swatches, because I want these swatches to be as realistic and as authentic as possible, and I know that nobody is going to go and put eyeshadow on them, on their eyes, without using a primer first. It's just not going to work. Alright, so I'm just going to go across the palette. So this one here is called Ranch, and that is a white with a pearl shine to it, a little bit of shimmer. You can't see the shimmer on my arm, but it's definitely there. This would even be nice for using as a highlighter. Underneath we have my pearls. You can't see that on my skin tone because that pretty much matches my skin tone perfectly. You can kind of see there. It's just like a nice nude, which would be good for a transition color. Then we have Tanacon, Tanner Mojo, yeah, it's Tanacon. So that's a nice caramel kind of color. That would also be really nice in the crease. So I like that there is a nice neutral brown there. We've got Diet Root Beer, so that is pretty much just a darker, more warmer tone than the one next to it, which is Tanacon. We've got the shimmery brown, kind of bronzy shade. This is called Just a Theory, and all 5 of these shades actually go really nicely together, so I can already see a look there. This next shade we've got here is called Spiraling. It's almost like, it's like a charcoal with shimmer, but it's almost got like a bit of a brown tone to it, like an espresso kind of shade. So yeah, that one's also nice, but I'm not really a fan of wearing shimmers anywhere but the lid, so I don't know how I will use this shade. Maybe just over the top of a plain black smoky eye to add a bit of, I don't know, like a sheen, like a wet kind of look. And next we have Conspiracy, so it's that light green. It's like the shade of money, like American money, obviously, not New Zealand money. And it kind of reminds me of Fly by Lime Crime. It's got like a yellow and green undertone with kind of like a gold shimmer. So that's a really nice one. That will go nicely with some of the shades that I've got in my Jawbreaker palette. The next one we've got here is called Pigment. So that is just a nice bright corally pink, which I really love. And this is the shade that I'm most excited for. We've got the yellow shade, which is called Food Videos, and this is quite a neon yellow, so it is different to the yellow in the Jawbreaker palette. It's very vibrant, so I love that one. Wow. Okay, this one has a lot of pigment. This one is called Trisha, this bright pink one. I'm really struggling to do this bright pink shade. So it is quite similar to Cotton Candy in the Jawbreaker palette, but I do think it is a bit deeper than that shade. So they will go really nicely together. I'm not sure you'd be able to tell the difference if you had them next to each other. So that is something I might have to do a little comparison of. I'm not enjoying doing these swatches like this. I might have to do the old Jeffree hand swatch, or I'll do it here actually. Oh my god, I'm totally getting makeup all over my top. The next shade here is called Cheese Dust. It's a bit lighter, like it's a nice kind of yellowy orange, which I really like. I'm not sure how that compares to the Jawbreaker orange, so I might have to do like a whole comparison video. Then this one here, we've got Flaming Hot, so that is just a nice red. We've got this shade, which I'm really excited about. It's going to go nicely with some Jawbreaker shades, which is called What's the Tea, which is like a Tiffany blue. I really love this one. It actually would go really nicely with the next shade, which is called, oh, I love that. That's called Diet Cola. That is a silver shimmery one, which until recently when I got my Lime Crime Immortalis palette, I didn't have a silver. So now I'm just going to be rolling in silver eyeshadows, which I love. And I really love the Jeffree Star formula, obviously. So I will probably use this a lot. Next one, wow, this is called Not a Fact, which is a really nice eggplanty deep purple color, which would be great for deepening up the crease. All right, the next shades, we've got this one called Sleep Paralysis, which is again a silver. It has a bit of a gold kind of shimmer though. So I don't know, it's not really a silver, it's more of just like a dark grey, like a charcoal colour with a bit of a goldy kind of bronzy shimmer. The next shade we've got is called Illuminati. Oh my god, I really love that. That reminds me of Lime Crime Serpentine lipstick. It's a nice and dark green with an emerald green shimmer, which is so pretty. And then last but not least, we have my Rides here, which is just a nice black, a matte black, which I guess is quite important, especially if you're wanting to create looks using just the one palette. I think it's always important to have a black, a version of a white, and some nice light matte colors to use as transition shades. So we've got all of that here, and we've also got a bit of color and fun, which is amazing. This has also helped me to figure out what shades I want to use while I'm doing this look, and I think I have decided, so I'm very excited. Now let's get into the tutorial then. Okay, so obviously I've done my face makeup and my eyebrows. I've just applied a white eyeshadow base to my eyelid, and now I'm going to go in with this densely packed shader brush. This is actually from the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes, and I'm going to go in with this shade here called Not a Fact, and I'm going to pack this into my crease, and I'm going to just slightly blend it out a bit to make it easier to blend once I add in the next shade. Now that we've got that dark purple packed into the crease, I'm going to be blending it out. So I'm taking a fluffy blending brush, and I'm going to go in with this shade here called My Pills, and just use that to blend out the purple. I'm also going to go back in with the purple shade and reapply that once I've got it blended out a bit, because I know that once it's blended, it's going to not be as vibrant. So I'd like to keep the vibrancy as vibrant as possible. I have noticed, I just noticed this now. Can you guys see? I don't know if you can see, but there is quite a lot of fallout on this. I'm not sure if it's just because of the type of brush I'm using. I know that these blending brushes can make it more fallout happen, but that is just something to take note of. So we've got the colours in the crease and it's blended out quite nicely, if I do say so myself. And we're going to be cutting the crease, but first I'm going to be removing the product that's on my eyelid so that I can get a cleaner base for my next eyeshadow that I'm putting on there. So I'm going to be taking some micellar water and a flat concealer brush, and I'm going to use this to basically carve out my crease, and then I will remove the product with a cotton tip. Alright, so we've got a nice clean base for the eyeshadow base to go on to now. So I'm going to be carving out my crease using my P. Louise base in the shade Rumor Zero, and I'm applying that with a flat concealer brush. Okay, so we've got the crease carved out. Now I'm putting on some colour onto the eyelid. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking that dark purple shade, Not Effect, and that same brush, and I'm going to apply that to the outer third. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a mixture of these two brushes to then apply this shade here called Diet Cola to the rest of the eyelid. Alright, so I've done both of the eyes and I'm really liking the way it's looking so far. But obviously this cut crease is a lot higher than this one. So I'm going to have to sort that out now. So just going back in with the base and making it a bit bigger and then applying that same silver shade. Okay, so those are looking a lot more even now. I can't stop looking at myself because I'm obsessed with this silver Diet Cola shade. Like, dare I say it, I think I like it more than the Lime Crime Venus Immortalis silvers. Anyway, the next thing that I'm going to do is smoke out the lower lash line, and I'm going to go in with the same colors I used in the crease. Surprise, surprise. What I'm going to do is apply the darker shade first, so using the same brush. And then I will go in with this small shader brush with the lighter shade, which is called My Pills. Next I'm going to be adding in some eyeliner, or some lip liner in this case, to my waterline. So I'm taking my Kylie Cosmetics Court K lip liner, and yeah, just applying this to my waterline. Okay, now I'm going to highlight my tear duct and my brow bone. I'm going to be taking this tiny little eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to go in with this shade here called Ranch, and applying that to my tear duct and my brow bone. And now to highlight the rest of my face, I'm going to be using my Lime Crime Mermaids highlight, and I'm going to go in with this shade here called Pearl, and I'm going to be using this fluffy highlighting brush. So I'm going to be applying that to my cheekbones, the tip of my nose, and my Cupid's bow. On my lips, I'm going to be taking my favorite nude at the moment, which is my Lime Crime Lip Glaze, and this is in the shade Cash. Okay, so the last thing left to do now is just apply mascara and lashes. So the lashes that I'm going to be using are my XO Beauty Faux Mink lashes. Oh, that happens so much, every time almost. These are in the style Thunder. Now they look really funny, like they're real tight. This is because of the glue that I've been using with this. I've been using the XO Beauty glue, and it's latex free, so when it dries hard instead of like sticky, and that makes it go real tightly curved like that, but that's fine. I will just peel off the bits of glue and it should go back to normal. But anyway, I'm going to apply these off camera, and then I'll be back to show you guys the completed look and have a little talk about the Conspiracy Palette. Okay, so here we have the completed look with lashes. I'm very happy with the way this turned out. The silver diet, what is it called? Diet Cola really blew my mind. Like, I actually am so happy. Just the pigment, the shine, like you put it on and straight away it's just like so reflective, and it's got like such a good coverage as well. Like you just tap it on a couple times and it's so, I'm definitely really happy with that. I was very happy with the Not a Fact shade, although when I blended it out I noticed that it went very pink. So it obviously has a pink undertone, and that kind of changed the way it looked a bit when I was blending it out. So that is something to be wary of. I also noticed that there was quite a bit of fallout with some of the shades. I mean, this is kind of to be expected almost, because a good eyeshadow is always going to have a little bit of fallout. It's a lot. It almost reminds me of the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. They usually have quite a lot of fallout from their eyeshadows. I've only very briefly touched into some of these shades. Like, there are so many, I only use like 4. So I'm really excited to try the other shades. To be honest with you, I was a little skeptical, because I was looking at it and I was like, that is kind of like a funny color story. Like, you don't look at it and immediately think like, oh yes, I can do that and that. Well, I don't anyway. But I actually felt the same way with the Jawbreaker palette, and then once I started using it, I just fell in love with it. So I definitely think there are a lot of looks you can do with this palette. It's very versatile. There's a lot of different things you can do with it. Although, if you're only going to have one eyeshadow palette, this would probably not be the palette that I would pick. just because there aren't too many transition shades. There are a lot of shimmers, and I do prefer mattes most of the time. So yeah, I mean, it's not the ideal palette for everything that you need a palette for, but it is a really nice addition to your collection if you already own a few palettes and you just want to revive and, you know, add something a bit different in there. I can definitely see myself using this palette a lot, and I do love the Jeffree Star formula, so I'm probably only going to be releasing looks using this palette for the next few weeks. But I think that is also important because you can't really see the true versatility of a palette until you see multiple looks created with the palette. So I don't want to just do one look and leave it at that. I'm going to do quite a few looks just so I can show you guys how versatile the palette really is. I don't really know how to do a review. This is my first product that I've ever reviewed, but what I can say is if you like the Jeffree Star formula and you have a bit of extra money laying around once this does get restocked, because obviously it's sold out, then definitely add this to your collection. I don't see why not. I also only have one other Jeffree Star palette, so I really wanted to get another one. And I can also see myself using this in conjunction with the Jawbreaker palette as well, because there are quite a few shades that complement the shades in the Jawbreaker palette, so that is another thing that I'm excited to use it for. But yeah, I don't really know what else to cover in a review, so if you have any questions, feel free to leave them below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But other than that, I'm really happy with the look. Yeah, I'm just really happy with it. I hope you guys like the look, and I also hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was a little bit educational. Hopefully you learned something from this. And if you liked the video, then please give me a thumbs up and subscribe and tick that little bell button so that you can get notified every time I post a new video. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.